Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about creating or structuring a win-back campaign. And as a reminder, a win-back campaign is what you send to your unengaged subscribers after you've already sent them a re-engagement campaign. Now you can see as we start to break down this email, the tone of the email is much different. It's going to be, we're going to take a little bit of ownership, a little bit of blame. We're going to go a little passive-aggressive. And at the end, we're going to deploy some scarcity, some urgency. We're going to give them a deadline. So this should only be sent to subscribers if you've deemed them to be unengaged and you've already sent them the re-engagement campaign. Now, assuming we're both talking about the same people, let's dive in and take a look at this campaign and see what makes it different than the re-engagement campaign that we just talked about. So it's still re-engagement, right? It's still technically re-engagement. That is the goal of this email, but the tone is different, right? The tone is different. So we're coming out of the gates just dead on, no cute stuff. I want you back. Now it's still as psychologically charged as the previous subject lines. And if you think about it, who says that, right? Maybe an ex-girlfriend, maybe an ex-boyfriend, maybe someone that you've been very close or intimate, and I don't necessarily mean in the traditional sense, but you've had an intimate relationship with. That's a statement that they would say to you. At the least, it's going to grab your attention. This is your time to say, here's my declaration, I want you back, I'm willing to fight for this relationship, and here's why. And the tone of this email is going to be far different than the tone of the previous emails. Now we're going to reference back to those emails and call out the fact that they haven't been engaging with us, and then we're going to sell ourselves. We're going to sell ourselves and sell why they should want to engage with our emails, right? This is selling. This is us standing here saying, I know you've left. I'm willing to fight for your attention. Here's why you should care. Again, we're going to break these emails down, each one in a separate video. Now the next email, and we're not waiting at all, where we were taking a few days in between on the first set of each email. On this win back, we're going 3 emails, 1, 2, 3, real quick. So the second email, remember, we want to mimic a real relationship. So if we come to someone and say, listen, I'm sorry, I want you back, and that doesn't work, maybe the next thing we do is we buy them a gift, right? We show them a sign of our appreciation. We purchase something to show our intent and our dedication to winning them back. So here, I've got a free gift for you. Shh, it's a surprise. You're deploying curiosity into the surprise gift here. You're leveraging a gift. Everyone wants a gift, right? Everyone wants a gift. Now I'll tell you, if your gift is crap, if no one actually wants the gift you have, then you will expedite them to the end of the line. You can go ahead and stop talking about them. They will feel duped or tricked into opening the email if the gift that you're referencing is worth little to nothing to them. So make sure that if you're going to say this, if you're going to leverage the I've got a gift for you, that it's valuable. Right? It's a valuable gift. You'll see the one that we use at Digital Marketer when we break down that campaign. Now, if they're not, and just as a side note, remember, if at any point in time they're opening and clicking, they're done with this campaign. They've successfully re-engaged. Right? They've successfully re-engaged, and you don't need to continue with the campaign. So now we're gonna just come out and say it. Am I still welcome in your inbox? You can say, am I still welcome here? Am I still allowed to email you? Is it okay that I'm still emailing you? Right? The whole question is, am I welcome? Am I allowed? Are you shunning me? Right? Are you shunning me? Is it okay that I'm doing this? You need to ask them that question, because it's similar to someone saying, am I bothering you? Like, is it okay that I'm here? Is this bothering you? You're going to reply to that one way or the other. The goal of these subject lines is to grab their attention and get them to engage. Now, I'll tell you, and you'll start to see this when we break down the exact campaign. One thing that may happen is they engage by opening, and the click they make is the unsubscribe button. That's okay. That's okay. In fact, that's one of your conversion goals. I would rather them open the email and knowingly unsubscribe and get off the list so that I can focus on everybody else and stop annoying someone. I don't want to annoy someone that doesn't want to hear from me, and I don't want to get more aggressive as it goes if they know that they're not going to engage with me or my brand for whatever reason, right? It's okay. We all change our mind. We all move on. We all have things we need at a temporary spot in our life that we no longer need. To think that we as a brand or as a person is that important in our subscribers' lives, maybe a little much. We should build relationship, but we should be realistic about the relationship that we're building. So, am I still welcome in your inbox? We're then going to take a day off because now we're going to start to deploy some different levels of urgency. Should I unsubscribe you is the next email. Now, if your list doesn't know what unsubscribe is, you may want to change the phrasing, but you need to keep the messaging, right? Keep the intent of this messaging because it's called the takeaway, right? How many times have you heard someone say, well, you didn't want that until he was playing with it, especially if you have kids? How many times have you seen it? If you have multiple children at home, one child cares nothing about a toy until the other child starts playing with it. And then that's the most important toy the kid that was just ignoring it has ever wanted, has ever seen, and they have to have it right now, and it is consuming. It's the takeaway. They didn't want it when they could have it. Now that they can't have it, it's all they can think about. We're going to deploy the takeaway. Should I unsubscribe you? Should I take this away from you, knowing that yesterday there's a good chance that you didn't want it? It makes them open the email. It makes them reevaluate the relationship. That's all any of these are about. Get them to open the email. You get your 5-minute elevator pitch to tell them why they should care, why they should maintain the relationship. And if they don't feel the same way, then they leave. And that's okay. You're going to actually encourage that in these emails. So now we're going to go kind of all the way. We're going to take a day off and we're going to come back and say, is this goodbye? Is this goodbye? Is today the end? Is today goodbye? And basically give them one last shot. Now, if you're not going to unsubscribe or stop talking to them afterwards, I would say, is today the end? I would soften it up a little bit. Don't speak definitively to any aspect of no longer emailing them if you have every intention of emailing them again. And if you do, that's okay, right? You may decide that you want to move your unengaged subscribers over to a different list and you only email them about massive events and campaigns and promotions that are annual. You're the best, your brand is the best known for and you have the highest engagement with. That's okay, right? That's actually a proven strategy and one that I'd suggest a lot of you do instead of being so definitive and final about it and saying you're unsubscribed. This is it, I'll never email you again. But if you're planning on doing that, don't say this, right? Because you have to form this relationship. If I say, okay, that's it, I'll never call you again, and then a month later I call and say, hey, what are you doing? Disingenuous, right? I've just broken my word, and it's not leading me back to re-engaging with you, to rebuilding that friendship. In fact, more than that, it's reminding me why I shouldn't engage with you, why I don't really want to be a part of you and your brand. So keep that in mind. Okay, what if that still doesn't work? Right now we've sent 2 different campaigns. We've sent a total of 8 emails. What happens if they still haven't opened your emails? Stop emailing them. You stop emailing them. That's it. Now, like I said a minute ago, you can move them over to a list or a structure in your email service provider. Maybe it's a tag, maybe it's a list where you don't email them nearly as often, but you shouldn't email them every day. You either stop emailing them completely or only email them on massive events, on big industry-wide or big brand related events that you're known for. But in most cases, you need to stop emailing them at least as often as you were. Okay? I know that's hard. I know that's not fun, but I promise you when we get to the email deliverability module, when we get to that part of the training, I'll tell you why it's so important, and you'll start to see the benefits of proper list hygiene on the people who are engaged with your list. So in the next in the next video, we're going to dive into email copywriting, and this part is really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll see you in that video.